Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. On first down, Levis. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Levis on third down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. So here are the Colts to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
On 2nd down, it's Richardson to throw it. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. Look at the big man rumble. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Richardson on 3rd and short. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Meanwhile, Richardson's throw pulled in by Woods. Touchdown! Jelani Woods, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to add on to that lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Matt Gay to kick off for the Colts.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Tennessee offense set to go again. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A second down throw from Levis. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Levis sets up to throw here. They set up the screen for Henry. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee 1st down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
1st and 10. Here's Levis. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Now a 2nd and 10. Levis throwing again on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Levis to throw it. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Well, the ball's loose. Levis has it knocked free. And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember on That becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. And that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs. They'll run with a former Bill, Zach Moss. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Isaiah McKenzie from 3 yards out. And the Colts are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Levis to throw on 1st and 10 here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now. And all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
2nd and 10. Here's Levis. And his throw is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you've got a heck of a chance to win.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Levis looking to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down, Levis. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Shaquille Leonard in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Titans will take over possession here up at the 44. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 1st and 10, it's Levis. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Levis. Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Levis to throw once more. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Minshew and the Colts going to come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Will Mallory. Then he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Moss. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2. And the tight end goes in motion left. On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. Right back to Moss. To about the 26 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Moss. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And they will take a knee here. This was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for the Colts, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jack.